On today's episode of the Marketing Update, Gawker's new content strategy,
post-rapture business opportunities,
email deliverability dives. Sorry. Email deliverability dives.
Mad Men and Hunger Games marketing inspiration,
And the post office wants more junk mail. All coming to you in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Marketing Update. It's March 23rd, 2012, and we're coming to you live from Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm Karen Rubin.
I'm Mike Volpe. The hashtag for the show is MKTGUP.
Marketing Up, baby.
Yep, there you go.
We've got all the old episodes in iTunes,
5-star reviews.
193 of them. We like reviews.
We appreciate those.
And you're all welcome to come join us. We have just a stunningly good-looking audience here.
We do.
So you can come check them out, see if you can score some hot dates, and watch a good marketing show.
There, whatever you need.
Whatever you need. We are a multi-service solution.
All in one. All right, let's dive into some headlines.
First one, Gawker's new content strategy. This came to us from our very own Laura Fitton, or @Pistachio on Twitter.
Yes.
And I thought it was an awesome story.
I love that they use data as such a central part of it.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Data's hot.
Yes.
And so basically the story here is that Gawker decided to change their content strategy and do something a little bit different.
Well, to run an experiment. I don't know if it was like a long-term change, but there's like, we're going to run an experiment.
All right, they're running an experiment. And what they decided to do was they have a lot of people, a lot of their writers that spend time trying to find like the hot story of the day, the thing that's going to get 1 million views, what people are going to love. Basically, they're spending all their time surfing YouTube looking for funny videos that they can share.
Yeah.
And so what they decided was every day of the week there would be one person dedicated to find content that would garner the most traffic.
Yes.
They're basically looking for that hot story. And everybody else would spend their time writing good quality content.
Right.
And then they made all the data public so people could see it.
Yeah, there's a whole Google spreadsheet that you can click through to and see all the different titles of the posts and when they were posted, and how many views they have, how many visits they have. It's
Fairly
really
cool
interesting.
use of putting your data out there so other people can see it.
Yes.
But what kind of results did they get?
Well, the interesting part here was that on the page, the days where they're supposed to drive just a ton of page views, low quality but high, just like get as much traffic as possible, they all the writers produced a cumulative 72 posts, which was 14 posts per writer per day. So it was like a huge amount of posts per day because they weren't very deep. They were just all like, fluff, right?
Three sentences in a video.
Right.
But
on the off-duty days, so the days where they're supposed to do like more research, right? More in-depth content, it was only basically worked out to only 34 posts, 1.3 posts per writer per day. So it's a 10x difference in terms of the content productivity.
Yep. And the people that were doing the page view duty days, basically looking to get a lot of traffic and volume, they were writing articles like the top 9 videos of babies farting and or laughing with kittens.
Here is the best video of Chinese soldiers playing hot potato with a live grenade.
And a penguin shits on the Senate floor. Oops. There we go. In any case, so it's, not high quality content, but it generates a laugh and it gets people to click on that link.
Yes.
So those 72 page view duty posts
Yep.
provide a combined 3.9 million page views.
Yes.
And which was about 55,000 page views per post on average.
Yep. Of the sort of the high quality posts, so much harder to produce, 10 times more time to produce them. 34 of those, 2 million page views, which on average was about 60,000 page views per post.
So just a little bit more, not statistically significant by any means.
Yeah, not given the number of posts that they had in each sample, but probably it's 10% more, right? But it was 10 times more expensive to produce.
Right. And they also said in terms of traffic, it was in terms of new visitors generated.
Yeah.
The page view duty posts attracted about 700,000 new visitors, which was 9,770 per post, and the off-duty posts were just under 300,000 with about 8,500 per post.
Yeah.
So the entertaining articles delivered, 1,000, 1,200 more visitors,
new visitors per post. So maybe pulling in
so
more.
What does this mean?
People.
Does it mean that quality content doesn't matter? Because in reality, you can spend your time producing tons of low quality, high entertainment value content and get roughly the same amount of visitors and page views as if you produced high quality stuff and spend your time writing it. Because honestly, Mike, you make me blog 2 blog posts a month, and if I could just look for videos of babies farting, I would be much happier.
Your job will be a lot easier, but then you should theoretically be able to produce 20 posts like that, not just 2, because it should be a 10x difference.
I think I could do that.
Yeah.
If Dan Dunn were feeding me content, I could totally get 20 of those a month.
I'm sure you probably could, but here's the thing. The quality of those page views, right? So when someone's there and they're watching Chinese soldiers playing hot potato with a live grenade, what are they there to do? Do they care about clicking through to other things? Like, what's the quality of that content? And I think it's, especially if you're a company that's creating your own content and you're trying to have that content be part of your brand, it's probably even more important that that content be high quality and be thought leadership content. So I think the overall theme here is that you need to balance both. If you have just really dry, boring posts, you're probably not going to attract enough of an audience. But if you have only like the fluff, it's like, are you going to really be attracting the quality of people that you want and representing your brand the way you want to?
It's absolutely true. So the marketing takeaway here is to use data to drive marketing improvements. What's super awesome here is that they did this experiment. They've got all the data there. I don't know what the final outcome of their decision is, but it's awesome that they're using the data and making it accessible.
Yep.
I got to give a shout out really quick. Alyssa Antonel's in the house for like the 2nd time in HubSpot history. She generally watches from her desk online. Here's to embarrassing Alyssa.
There you go.
All
now
right.
that we have automated billing, it's
I know.
like she has
gets to hang out here.
20 minutes of free time a day, or once a week.
Once a week.
Yeah, totally. All right.
Alyssa runs the whole company.
Yeah,
No time for
totally. Don't
HubSpot
tell
TV.
anyone. So rapture marketing opportunities. So many Christians believe in the rapture.
Right.
Which is when the world comes to an end and all the Christians get sucked up into heaven and everyone else, including pets, are stuck here on earth to suffer for a while until the world ends.
I have to say, I always get kind of confused with this because as the Toastmaster members of HubSpot learned, I read romance novels, and rapture in romance novels is typically describing something else. So I find it really interesting that like rapture in a religious sense and rapture in a romance novel sense are kind of like this, but okay. So this is the religious version of rapture.
On that subject, though, I do want to just interject and say we do have a tweet from Inbound Sales. It says, "Is Karen Rubin extra horny today?" Or what? Everything is hot. Why is everything hot?
On the show?
On the show, or rapture,
Pregnancy
or whatever.
has its challenges.
Pregnancy apparently has its challenges. So I don't know what that's all about.
Not even commenting on that.
That's fair enough. So back to the Christian version of the rapture. Somebody, anyways, this whole thing was
Camping. He's a Christian religious radio
we had talked about this
podcaster.
prediction, and he had done like a bunch of billboards
He's
about it.
predicted 3 times that the rapture is going to happen. He's been wrong every time.
Well, right. But
Maybe.
in any event, so before we get into that, we promised we would try not to offend too many people with this. So yeah, I know you're just having trouble, but so let's jump to the more interesting marketing part of this, which is someone decided to start a business, right? Which was. We provide, basically set up atheists as people who would rescue your pets if you're Christian and believe in the rapture when the rapture started. So you're going to get sucked into heaven, and like your dog is stuck there. What your dog's supposed to do is the world is going to end in like 6 or 12 months.
And so the idea was you paid $135 per pet for a 10-year coverage plan. If you had a second pet, it was an additional fee of $20, and after you got sucked up to heaven, someone would come take care of your pet for you.
Yes.
Well,
and at one point he claimed that he had like all kinds of people contact him, and he had 267 people had signed up as clients, and like all this just craziness, and he was starting to get a lot of attention.
Business growth of 150%.
Yeah. So, but then.
And he even said, I like this one. He said, the next thing we're gearing up for is the Mayan calendar end times, which we believe is going to, some people we think will bring substantial business, and then someone else is going to have to make an end of the world prediction, and we'll go from there. Like, we'll continue working these different predictions to get more business.
Oh, he's got his marketing strategy down, so that's good. But unfortunately, the state of New Hampshire, which is where he lives, the insurance department of the state issued a subpoena because he appeared to be engaged in unauthorized issuance of business insurance or something like that. So it's like, okay, I guess that's true, whatever. And then he totally retracted everything, said the entire thing was a giant hoax. He actually only had 2 people contact him, and he just told both of them he didn't have any atheists that were nearby enough to them to guarantee coverage for their pets.
He said it was a social experiment. He wanted to find out how committed people are to their pets and how many believers really buy into this. So the answer is 2.
Yeah, exactly. So
like,
it's interesting.
What's the marketing takeaway here?
So the marketing takeaway here is that controversy will help you get found, But the question is, will it help you convert?
Yeah.
And in this case, the answer is
He got
probably
all
no.
kinds of press.
Attention.
He was written up in all the big things. Everybody was talking about this guy selling the atheist pet pants, but it only got him.
It's like the Gawker stuff. It's like high, eyeballs, like getting found, but doesn't really help your business that much. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we've got email deliverability taking a dive.
So this
new report from Return Path. What did it say,
Return
Karen?
Path. Basically, they looked at the reviewed data from over 1.1 million emails sent, 142 ISPs in 34 countries, and they said that email blocked and flagged as spam increased 24% in the second half of 2011 over the first half of 2011.
Yep.
And so basically, there's just a lot more spam and a lot more people marking things as spam, and people are kind of getting pissed at stuff getting in their email inbox that they don't want there.
And I think the headline was that the overall deliverability rate fell to a record low of 76.5%.
They had some other interesting things too. More than 1 in 4 American retailers are not reaching the inbox. So B2C retailers had more than 1 in 4 emails were blocked or delivered to spam folders in North America, which is fabulous. If you're in B2C, like, what are your rates? Do you know what's getting through? Are you paying attention? 1 in 4, that's huge.
Yeah. 11% of B2B email was classified as spam.
And that was actually that they were getting through the spam filter, but 11% of them, people were clicking that button saying, stop emailing me.
Yeah, we were just talking about this, that you feel like maybe because you're now on the marketing team and that's reflected in all these like databases that you can download online, that you're getting a lot more spam, but people trying to sell you stuff.
I'm getting so much more spam. There was actually one last week that made me feel really good, and Mike doesn't think this is a big deal. But last week, I got spam from like a private jet chartering company. And that's not the cool part. The cool part was they sent it to me, Brian Halligan, and Dharmesh Shah, our 2 co-founders. Because it's clear they understand who the power brokers at this company are. Anyway, I'm getting tons more. I think it's because I'm on marketing. It might be that HubSpot got into databases or something. I get like 3 or 4 a day now.
Yeah,
and I hit
annoying.
everyone as spam.
It's annoying.
So I'm contributing to this.
There you go.
Maybe I'm the reason this happened.
So what's your marketing takeaway here?
Karen. Marketing takeaway here is watch the email stats. You got to know how this is impacting you so that you can adjust it as you move forward.
Yep. So next up we've got Mad Men and Hunger Games kind of marketing inspiration or clever things that happen about these.
Huge things happening this weekend, like huge. First of all, Mad Men comes back after like a 1.5 year hiatus.
Long time.
2-hour season premiere starting on Sunday.
Yep.
And then the Hunger Games, which Mike knows absolutely nothing about because he's old, is going to have the biggest movie premiere launch, I'm estimating. It's the biggest movie premiere launch in the last like 1.5 years. They're comparing it to Harry Potter and the Twilight series and all that. People are very excited about the Hunger Games.
I don't know if it's that big.
People are fairly excited about this. How many people are excited about the Hunger Games in the audience? See?
That's kind of, I don't know. That's
It's
good,
we are
but
kind of
it's
a
not,
young crowd.
Yeah, I don't know.
In any case, some companies are taking advantage of this stuff, doing
so
interesting things.
I want to talk about the Fine brothers and what they did with Mad Men.
Yeah, because you don't know anything about the Hunger Games.
As you explained earlier, so let's beat that dead horse again. They created this thing called Mad Men, the Interactive Game, which is a series of interlinked YouTube videos similar to a Choose Your Own Adventure, shout out to Patrick Shea, where you watch a video and then you can click on different things in the video that will link you to another video based on what you clicked on, so what you choose. So, should Don do XYZ or this other thing or whatever, and you go through this whole series of things. And it's sort of interesting, and it's basically modeled after sort of a sort
1970s video game?
I don't know about the 70s, Rubin.
Dude, it is like...
No, they didn't have like color in the like it's a little after the 70s. I would go like mid 80s.
Okay,
yeah.
mid 80s.
But in any event, I would say post Atari 2600 is better than Atari. I would say like Nintendo sort of era.
I was 4 in the mid 80s.
Right. So in any event, it brought me back to my youth. Okay. Yes. And it's interesting. It was sort of cool.
It's super cool.
I did watch a bunch of it. And I kind of clicked through a few of the options. It was interesting and playful. And they basically mashed up like that era of video games with Mad Men to sort of make something new and cool in a new medium of YouTube.
And the Fine brothers are video creators. They make videos for TV ads, they make videos for online shows, this is what they do. And so they made this as some free cool content they were making, showing what they did. And they used the annotation features in YouTube where you can link from one YouTube video to another in a way that it's never been used before. And they were kind of...
I don't know if that's technically true, but
I know
it's what they said. But
people
have done
the annotations features features on YouTube to its limits in a way we've never used before.
They've never used before. That is probably true.
All right.
Other people have done that. People have done like a choose your own adventure thing on YouTube before.
All right.
I've seen it before.
All right.
It's not super common because it's a pain in the butt to do, but people have done it before. But it was still the mashup of all of those things, like 80s video games and Mad Men and the annotations feature. That maybe was the first.
So the next one is about the Hunger Games.
Yes.
Mashable,
Which is a movie
reported.
based
Hunger
on
Games
a
is a
series of
movie.
books. I know that much.
Yes, where children kill each other, basically. There's a little bit more to it than that, but that's what happens. In any case,
Are they matched up by age or like weight class?
they take. There are 12
Because
districts.
if it was purely by
Stop
age,
interrupting
I actually
us.
think John would do pretty well.
That's because he's huge.
Yes.
It's 12 districts. 2 children between ages 11 and 18 are selected from each district, randomly drawn out of the hat.
So you
to
get
go
two
into
18-year-olds versus two 11-year-olds?
go into a gigantic arena and fight each other to the death. And the 2 from the same district are fighting against each other as well. So one winner.
Okay.
24 children.
4 kids enter, 1 kid leaves?
24 kids enter, 1 kid leaves, yes.
All in the same
All
ring?
in the same ring.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And they fight to the death. In any case, Draw Something is a super hot social game right now. I had to get Rachel Sprung to show me what it was because apparently all the young hip kids are playing it these days.
Well, and after about a 45-minute explanation and demo, I was like, oh, so it's like Pictionary but on your phone. And the answer was, oh, yeah, right, that's what it
Kids these
is.
days don't know what Pictionary is.
Okay.
So in any case, Draw Something got acquired by Zynga this week, very big.
Yep.
But also, in addition, because Hunger Games is launching, they've added a whole bunch of new words to their system that you can have to draw based on the Hunger Games. And they made it a new feature so they can easily add words in based on key things going on. So responding to what's happening in the world, responding to what people and their audience is really excited about, to make it so you have to draw things like Katniss, which honestly I wouldn't even begin to know how to draw, and I've read the books. Like I wouldn't know where to start on that one. You don't even know what a Katniss is, so.
No, I thought it was like the
He's like looking at the
notion of
notes
like being like a cat or something. I don't.
In any case, the marketing takeaway here is to mash up 2 mainstream trends and tie your marketing into that.
There you go. Cool.
Good stuff.
We do have, so Score More Sales says, love Karen Rubin and her enthusiasm on HubSpot Marketing
I'd love
Up
you
Live.
Score More Sales.
Oh, and at Mike Volpe is very good too. I don't know who this at Mike Volpe character is, but he's clearly an imposter with very low following online.
He's not as
and
good as me.
horrible political blog articles. So,
Right.
yes.
And his cloud score is lower than mine.
Well, yes, but and also lower than at M Volpe's.
Well, that's debatable. At M. Volpe's is pretty low. Anyway, moving on. Postal Service wants more junk mail. More
Woohoo!
junk mail.
More junk
More
mail.
junk mail.
And you know what we're going to do to get more junk mail, Karen?
What are we going to do?
We're going to do a ton of TV advertising.
Yes,
because
we
that's
are.
how you drive more junk mail.
Because outbound marketing, we want to revive outbound marketing. We want to bring it back to life. We want to make people love it.
Well, the real problem here is that I do feel bad for the individual postal workers. I actually knew by like name and had, no, I mean, we didn't hang out, like go to dinner together, but we would chat and stuff, our old
Thank you for clearing that
postmen
up.
in the when we lived in the city. And I've met like our new post person in our, where
In
we
the
live now
burbs.
in the burbs, and they've all been like switching routes, and I know for them it's been a really tough time because there's a lot of turmoil at the post office because they're not making as much money as they used to,
Right.
because people are sending less personal mail, and there's much less junk mail being sent, and the junk mail was kind of like their cash cow.
$5.1 billion loss last year.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
it's a lot of money to lose.
So what they're doing...
Some people say we lost a lot of money last year.
we didn't lose
Try
that much
$5 billion. That's a lot of
We
money.
didn't lose that much money.
Yeah.
So they've got a program that's been around since April 2001 that they're pushing, which charges small businesses 14.5 cents per piece of mail, and basically gives them a tool where they can target like everybody in this neighborhood,
Yep.
or everybody in, what's the other
It
thing?
is the
Zip
B-52
code?
carpet bombing of direct mail.
So basically, you don't
It
need
is just,
names
you
and
just
address.
select an area on a map and you hit drop a lot of bombs, and just like junk mail gets spread all throughout there.
That's a good analogy. Well done.
It's not, it is a good analogy because it's true.
So what's the problem with this strategy? Like, what are they doing wrong?
Well, carpet bombing an entire area with your marketing message is the first thing that they're doing wrong. The second thing that they're doing wrong is they're using more television ads to promote more junk mail.
So interruption,
there's a bunch
promote interruption.
It's just,
It's
yeah,
brilliant.
there's a bunch of, I guess,
So
there's
here's
a bunch
the
of things
thing.
wrong with this.
The inbound state of the inbound marketing had a couple interesting stats, basically showing that the average cost per lead of both inbound and outbound marketing lead channels, we talked about that with people, we asked them, only 34% of marketers surveyed indicated that direct mail generated a below average cost per lead. So you pay more for direct mail leads.
Furthermore, in that same survey, we asked folks what sources of leads had become less important to them over the past 6 months, and direct mail was the one that had become the most frequently cited least important thing. So 51% of marketers saying it had decreased in importance.
So it's, you know, cheers to you, to the post office for trying to like revive their business and do stuff. And the other thing, actually, I want to comment on this. We've got the canned spam law for email because the government doesn't have a whole ton of employees that are responsible for email.
And we have a do not call list
And we
for
have a do not call list
telemarketing.
for telemarketing.
Should we have a do not mail list?
Yes! I don't want the spam. I want to be able to put my name somewhere and stop getting all the junk mail.
It's almost impossible. In fact, there was a hilarious thing on Seinfeld, right? When Kramer wanted to stop getting mail, and he like called into the post office, and they like grilled him and interrogated him, and like finally convinced him. Like it's a little scary. Like there is no way to stop getting mail. It is really, really difficult.
It is
exceedingly difficult. My mom actually went on a quest for a couple years. Like every single catalog she got, she would like call them and mail them and be like, "Take me off your list, take me off your list, whatever." And then it would stop for a little bit, but she'd get some new ones. It was this whole thing. She was never actually able to successfully stop the flow of it.
No, it's impossible.
I think what they should do is they should basically make direct mail more inbound. And the way I would think about doing that is having a do not mail list, but maybe combine that with a like, hey, these are the types of things I'm currently interested in.
Yep.
For instance, I just moved into a house, the weather is now warm, and I'm like, oh God, I gotta mow my lawn. I would love it if a few people in that geographic area would actually send me offers to like, hey, like let me help you, let me mow your lawn for you, right? But I wouldn't want to receive those forever. I would want to receive them right now for the next like month and then like be done with it. So if there's a way online I could sign up for that stuff and then maybe they would send me things or whatever, that could be kind of cool. Or maybe things that require like physical packages, like consumer products companies could actually, maybe you could sign up there and be like, hey, I am interested in free samples of,
toothpaste.
Perfume, maybe toothpaste.
Detergent.
Or perfume-free detergent because I just have a new kid or whatever. Yeah.
The detergent because it's getting stolen in all these places now. Did you hear about that?
No.
Different story. Anyway. In Massachusetts and a couple other states are having huge problems with Tide detergent getting stolen off the shelves of stores because it's the most expensive detergent and they can sell it for $10 a box on the street and it retails for $20 a box and they can't sell the other detergents as high value. So people are having these huge
feels like
problems.
Tide should do, like, A, they're doing a good job of marketing because they've created differentiation in a product where the category where there actually is no differentiation. But those marketers should be proud of themselves and they should do something about that. That's
They should
weird.
put more data into the junk mail business because, for example,
Well, they should make it so it's not junk mail anymore.
some of these people, well, this is exactly it. Some of these businesses are brilliant. Like before I told my mom I was pregnant, they were sending me stuff on like blood cord banking and on like having babies and whatnot. It was incredible. Like I don't know how they knew, but I was getting this stuff.
Oh, I know
but
how they
now, like I haven't had this child yet, and I'm getting junk mail for toddler clothing and like children's magazines and all that stuff. Like,
They want to get in front of you
Are you
early.
kidding me? It's been 6
Yeah.
months, guys.
Did you
I
get-
don't need toddler clothing
Did you get
yet.
your free samples of formula?
No, I
like
haven't gotten
physical
those
box
yet.
of
I got
like
diapers.
formula? Oh yeah.
I got some free diaper samples, and I kept those. But we're getting a whole bunch of good coupons, and I'm saving those, and we're using them.
So some of the junk mail is okay.
Right, but I don't want to get diaper junk mail in 6 years, and I don't want to get 6-year-old clothes junk mail now.
Yeah.
Like if they just figured out I'm having a baby, don't come on, do a little math, people. This is basic arithmetic. All right, so what's the marketing takeaway here?
So the marketing takeaway here is...
Measure what works for your business.
Yeah, is that really what it is?
Yes.
I guess it is.
Well, you want to change it?
No, I struggle with that one. I think it's kind of a mediocre marketing takeaway if I say so myself, but...
Mike, what are you up to this weekend?
This weekend, it is my wife's birthday weekend.
Oh, very nice.
And so we are headed out for dinner because we have the in-laws in town to do some babysitting.
Oh, nice.
So Saturday night, we are headed to Oya.
Oh, are you doing the tasting menu?
I don't know which
you
menu
should.
we'll
Do
do,
the
but
tasting menu.
Look
at Yoav. Do the tasting menu.
I understand. We probably will. They're like, we'll just talk about it later. We probably will.
There's no discussion.
But more importantly, I have taken out a second mortgage on our house, so
Right.
I can actually pay for the meal there.
Totally true, but that's
Because it's
the whole reason why you do the tasting menu.
So you only go there once in your life, basically.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. But you
Yes.
go for the experience. It's amazing.
Yep. What are you up to this weekend?
So we're taking it easy this weekend. I've got dinner going on with my girl Karen Rubin out there. Yeah, we're hanging out with her parents at her house because she's my cousin. If you didn't know that.
I heard technically that you're actually second cousins.
It's true. We are technically second cousins, but that's a lot of explanation.
Sorry. Yeah.
Technically, we're second cousins,
Okay.
but like my family's small and close, so all our family functions, she's there.
Okay.
So, do you know
Fair
your
enough.
second cousins?
No.
Yeah. See, small, tight New England family, all in the same area, different world.
Yep. Okay.
Anyway, that's the only thing on my radar besides some yoga and some hanging out and maybe seeing Brian Whaley, getting some pho, exciting stuff.
Awesome.
See you
Cool.
folks later. Have a good
Bye.
week.